Stream should be going live. So if they get us to 4,000, I'll do 10 hours. Exactly. I'll do the full 8 hours, but then I'll skip the 10 hours.
We here at Second Wind are well into our second year as a content-producing powerhouse, and we're hoping to keep going into a third, and perhaps even dare we dream a fourth. By donating as little as $1 a month to our Patreon, you can be a part of helping us keep going. If you want to be part of ensuring the existence of one of the few professional gaming media outlets that isn't being ruined and or shut down by corporate bastards, go to patreon.com/secondwindgroup and please consider giving whatever you can spare. And if you don't want to do any of that either, I don't know, take up cycling, it's good core exercise.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 69 for Thursday, May 29th, 2025. Marty Sleva here, joined by Casey Wosu, Nick Calandra, and no producer Eric, because literally a gunshot ripped through his internet. I mean, that sounds scarier than it was, but a gunshot did rip through internet through his home.
I feel like you should have started that with his internet before the gunshot, because that sounded scarier than it needed to be.
So R.I.P. Eric's internet. We knew you. We knew you well. You were brave.
It'll be back though.
Sure, people.
It takes more than a single gunshot.
It's gonna respawn.
All you have to do is hide behind cover for a little bit, and your health regenerates. So it'll be easy peasy. But we have a wonderful show for y'all tonight. We're going to be going over, as you can see in our main topic, our Summer Game Fest 2025 predictions, hopes, fears, all that nonsense. Summer Game Fest starts next week. We were going to save this episode maybe for next week's thing, but a week from today on Thursday is also when the Switch 2 drops. So I'm sure, assuming one of us is able to get our hands on one that day, we'll have impressions of Switch 2 that day. But we'll also be chatting about EA canceling a much anticipated game from a much anticipated studio and shuttering the studio and why that really sucks. And as well as Mind's Eye, which continues to be the least real game of the year, I think. I do not think this game is real, even though it is imminent.
There's no way to know, yeah.
Yeah, I'm relatively sure it's fake, but we'll see.
I've got my paycheck right here. Think about his comments.
We need a little more.
Think about his comments. The Mind's Eye comment. Think about the Mind's Eye guy comments. I've got the paycheck.
I don't know what comments he said. You have to fill us. You have to give us.
It's literally the story. It's literally the story we're going to talk about.
Oh, I don't know what your paycheck is.
Exactly.
Okay, let's start with that so you can explain whatever that is, because I don't even get it. I know the story, but I don't understand the reference.
The Mind's Eye co-CEO said everybody's talking bad about his game, and it's a paid-for campaign.
Oh, I didn't.
Okay.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it now. I kind of get it.
So I got my paycheck.
I'm sorry, I did not throw that line.
Okay, so tell us more about this Mind's Eye thing. Explain a little bit. What's going on?
It's another Randy Pitchford situation where a CEO is talking out the side of his mouth, and probably shouldn't be with a release of a game that does not look all that great. So Mind's Eye is from Build a Rocket Boy, which is the new studio. You always say the name better. Leslie Benz?
Leslie Benzies?
Leslie Benzies.
I like that you think I say names good. That's good.
Just, well, that one.
Things, I say names very poorly.
Yeah, that one. Well, I mean, I got
you know what I say better than you? Guillaume. Because you know how you said it in your video?
Guillemay? Yeah.
Gil Murray?
I told Eric to put in the video a note that says, "I am sorry. I will butcher every single one of these names."
You gotta stop writing about anyone whose name isn't like 5
Chad.
letters. If it's more than 5 letters wrong, you can't.
Maybe just practice it.
Yeah,
I tried to. I literally. The problem is, I used Google to say, like, speak it out to me, and that's what it came out sounding like. So, Google's racist towards French people. It's fine.
I don't believe it.
Guillemay.
No, they're saying you're a little quiet. So, anyways, this Build a Rocket Boy studio, former Rockstar people working there, they've been working on Everywhere, which was like this. They're saying I'm a bit loud compared to everybody. Sorry, I'm the one managing today. Eric does a better job. All right, I dropped me my audio a little bit. So, anyways,
damn, you're complimenting a lot of us today. I pronounce names well. Eric does a good job managing.
I am.
Casey's handsome.
Yep, I just ruined the business. It's fine. So, this Mind's Eye game is their first upcoming title. It's releasing on June 10th, and it is generic third-person shooter, the game. They released a gameplay overview trailer this past week that spent a lot of time trying to sound like it's a really ambitious cinematic adventure, and then like 1 minute of the trailer is spent on like how innovative a drone is, as if a game has never used a drone to put tags on enemies.
It's actually the first game to ever use drones.
Yeah, first game ever.
Before it's only been birds, like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so just a game that doesn't have a lot of positive PR around it, and now the co-CEO wants to go on his Discord and say it's like a paid-for campaign, putting out conspiracies out there like Rockstar is paying influencers to shit on the game, and it's like, I don't think Rockstar is at all worried about your game, buddy.
So he thinks the they is Rockstar. Like Take-Two has an out for him.
He put like a winky face of like, because somebody asked him who is it, and he put a winky face like, you know who it is. It's like, who else would it be? Where else did that guy work? Which I didn't realize like there was a contentious feeling between the people that left Rockstar and didn't, and I'm wondering if like that some of that comes down to like Jason Schreier's previous reporting about all the crunch, because apparently a lot of the crunch that happened at Rockstar was under Leslie's watch. So
it's really funny. Like the game isn't anticipated because everything they've shown has looked incredibly boring. Like, no one paid me to say that. I think the game looks incredibly boring. And I wanted to. I was like, ooh, that's cool. Like a former producer of Grand Theft Auto going out and making their own thing. That seems cool. And then everything they've shown has been just very incredibly generic looking, especially. And we're now at a point, this game comes out in like 10 days.
Yeah, the stuff that I've seen, because I might have missed whatever they've shown latest, but what they showed first didn't look finished, in my opinion. A lot of it was cutscenes, and like the actual gameplay was mostly like driving, like it was a car driving through a very empty looking streets. It just didn't look finished.
Well, they've been like really weird about what the game even is. So like, if I hadn't like looked it up, I would have thought like it was a more open world-ish game, but it's really not. Like there's a hub that you go through to go to missions, or like scripted linear missions.
You know what this is reminding me of, actually?
But there's also a creation engine that then lets you go into the open world and do things. But they describe that as like the next best thing since sliced bread, democratizing game development. And I thought the trailer was pretty funny. I'm trying not to be cynical about it, but it was pretty funny. Like they're like, you can do anything. You can build missions where you race cars. You build missions where you shoot people. You build this third type of mission, and then they immediately said everything. But you can do anything. But they only said like 3 things that you can do.
This is giving me the same impression that Senua Hellblade 2 was giving me, where like they kept showing you just the slightest bit of something, and like they were just very cagey about like what the game would play like. Yet they held this idea of like, this is, we're putting a lot of work, a lot of effort into this. And it sounds like maybe because whatever it is, Mind's Eye is, it's heavily crafted. Like it's super handholdy, and like they think that the story they've written is like, really, really good, and maybe it is, but that is what they focused on in that cinematic aspect, and the gameplay stuff maybe takes a back seat, which is why they've shied away from just giving you like a chunk of what moment to moment looks like.
I mean, it just looks like a very Xbox 360 era third-person shooter.
But which I like. If it was a good one, I'd be excited. But it doesn't look like a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll get our hands on it soon enough. I'm not ready to make any judgment on it. Other than the trailers haven't done anything to pique my interest. Mm-hmm. It just.
You know what? I think I'm ready to make judgment on it. I can't say anything. Listen, I was so not on board, and then you said a generic 360 game, and I'm like, ooh, I might be back, actually.
Oh, okay.
Could this be this year's Slitterhead? Mind's Eye? Oh my god. We had Wanted Dead, Slitterhead, and now Mind's Eye. What is this? We need to form a new name for this genre. Junk core?
Junk.
It's what we used to call. It's what we used to call the AA industry.
I don't know. Both Wanted Dead and Slitterhead have kind of a sense of insanity to them.
Sure, yeah.
Like this is very not that. Like there's nothing in this trailer that makes you go, what is that about?
Yeah. Wahoo! Let these people make this thing.
Right. Yeah. Like this is very safe. Yes.
Yep,
safe.
Yep. 100%. It's also, but this is the first game published by IO Interactive's new like publishing label, and it's just a bummer that like, I was hoping. I mean, IO Interactive, like the Hitman games, made them a boatload of money, and they're funneling some of that back into publishing, with it, which I think is cool. And it just kind of sucks that it seems like the first one's going to be a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a buzzkill.
Yeah, I do not think this game is going to sell well.
No, but we shall see. Yeah, it comes out on June 10th, and that is not very long from now. So we'll have more. We'll have more to say then.
What do you guys get delayed before then?
I mean, yeah,
I don't think that would help us PR.
Delayed this or Marathon.
Oof, too soon.
What do you mean too soon? The game's not even out yet. Can't be too soon. Cool. Moving on. Before we start chatting Summer Game Fest, I wanted to touch on this EA Black Panther story, which really fucking sucks. News came out via IGN yesterday that EA has canceled their Black Panther video game that was in development for the last couple of years at Cliffhanger Studio. Cliffhanger was a new EA studio, had not released a game, but formed from a lot of former folks from Monolith, the Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War devs. That studio was also Monolith was closed a few months ago. So that really, really, really fucking sucks that and this was also paired with news that EA is going to now kind of commit to focusing on their like core brands, which are sports, Apex, Skate, and Battlefield, I think they said. And it's just like, man, this like the EA gets a lot of flack at a lot of times, but it felt like with all of the noise and all the garbage, they would always still be doing an interesting thing. A Dead Space, a Mirror's Edge, EA Originals, even the stuff Respawn was putting out. And the fact that
Hazelight stuff.
That and the fact that so much of this seems to have been sanded off, and now they are just going the absolute safest, most boring route possible, I think really fucking sucks. And it's, again, just hundreds of more people in the industry out of a job, with fewer and fewer studios hiring. It's all incredibly shitty, especially again from talented folks who made really cool Lord of the Rings games and then never able to follow up on it with a new project. So,
yeah, Ubisoft's doing the same thing, circling the drain on Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon and Far Cry. Those are the brands that they want to be huge. And Assassin's Creed, obviously, like it's just between like 2K, Ubisoft, EA, Take-Two, it's like they have their money printing franchises, and that's all they stick to now. Activision, same thing. Call of Duty, that's it. I still keep Activision pretty separate from Xbox, even though that Xbox owns them because they're still kind of their own publisher running things. But it just like I think the thing that annoys me the most is like these companies make so much money, and they could use that money to fund new, smaller projects, bring a lot of cool stuff into the world, and just don't. And it's so frustrating because they used to. I just wrote about that in my last Unpacked video about Clair Obscur, and like how publishers used to fund Child of Light and the smaller EA originals, but we're not getting those anymore because they saw some success, and then they bumped up the budgets to $50 million for Immortals of Avium, and that tanked, and they're like, okay, and Wild Hearts, and we're like, we're done with that. Now we're just going to do the successful stuff again from Hazelight, who probably doesn't even need a publisher anymore. So like, what are Take-Two? I mean, Take-Two had Private Division, they killed that. When's the last time 2K did anything new and original? Outside, I mean, they had Borderlands, sports games. Did a Lego racing game that's tanked. Yeah.
It's the same exact story all across the industry.
Yeah.
From the very topped, is that they've hit that ceiling and they don't know what to do to keep growing. And the thing is, actually, they do know what to do to keep growing, but that takes time. It takes time for these smaller franchises to hit big like they want. Because like stuff like Wild Hearts, for example, I don't know that it sold poorly, but it definitely didn't like sell gangbusters.
And they gave Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
right.
It didn't sell enough
like,
for EA to care about it.
Right, yeah. And so the expectation is just so much more outsized than what you can expect from a new franchise in that sort of entry. Like it doesn't have the time to grow or to evolve into a second entry or anything like that. So they just cut their losses because they're impatient. And then they say, all right, well, this thing works. Let's just put all our eggs in this basket. And I don't know how old that adage is, but we all know that's a bad idea.
Well, that's
to put all
like
the eggs in one basket.
That's the crazy thing is like, if they had the same mindset they did 10 years ago, we would not have Mass Effect. We would not have Dragon Age. We wouldn't have most of these franchises that exist. Because like the first games sometimes sell okay, and then they're like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board, make it bigger, better. The second game is a huge hit. That's what happened for Mass Effect. I don't remember Mass Effect 1 lighting the world on fire for sales.
And Uncharted was the same way. Even Assassin's Creed 1 to 2, the same thing.
But now it's got to be 10 million copies out of the gate for them to even give a shit.
Yeah, Samuel Murphy brings up a good point in the chat. It was a few games before GTA was a mega hit. Red Dead Revolver wasn't a huge hit. You know, it took a little bit until Red Dead Redemption, until GTA 3 and everything. Connor Watson over in the Patreon. Remember, if you're at the $5 tier and above, you are able to contribute to our conversations every week here on Firelink. Connor Watson said, how was your relationship with new game hype changed over the last few years with all of them being announced and then canceled? Are you still able to feel excited for new games? This will kind of bleed into our Summer Game Fest thing. I haven't had the excitement killed from like my body yet. I'm not a Yahtzee, but there is every time I see an interesting game, I do have a thought in my head of, is this actually going to ever exist? Anytime a new studio is announced, I'm like, will they literally release a game before they are shut down?
Yeah, I feel that way more about when I see a big budget game. You know, like a good example of that is like that Exodus game that's coming from Archetype Entertainment, that new Mass Effect looking like
episode, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like they're marketing the hell out of the thing. I see excitement for it, but you know, is it going to be any good? Is it going to be the only game they ever release? Like, what's the story on it? And you know, I see studios. You know, anything. I guess a good example is anything that like gets a big showcase in Summer Game Fest. I get pretty concerned about it. Like, is that game going to actually happen?
We're fine with Dokkaevi.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't want to say Dokkaevi for KC's sake, but
my confidence is rising in that.
But even in the indie space, like the Celeste team announced Earthblade, which was like the Celeste team doing a 2D Metroidvania. It's like hell yeah. Getting canceled. But granted, that was specific circumstances, but still, like, just because something looks cool, there is no guarantee that it will actually see the light of day, let alone be good.
I want to say I feel like this cliffhanger thing in particular is kind of an extra burn. One, because of the Monolith lineage, right? It was like, okay, maybe the spirit of that, you know, once beloved studio, which is gone now, can live on with this, you know, satellite team, not satellite team, but you know, kind of ex-member team. But also, one, it's a big Marvel title. So you're telling me that they're even afraid to use big IP. So like you can't even have that as like a thing to kind of shore up a new idea, because this was going to be a new open world, you know, superhero game, which we don't have a ton of anymore. That used to be a much bigger genre of kind of like hero character games. And then on top of that, like it was for Black Panther, who is a very specific hero that meets a certain demographic that does not get representation. And that studio had a lot of leads who fit that description. So like we were going to get a game, presumably, from a very unique point of view with a new character in like a well established, but you know, not fully taken advantage of genre. Right. So a lot of things to be excited about. And just the idea of all these things being new and exciting is the exact thing that scares a big company.
Well,
Because like they can't predict whether it's going to hit or not.
we haven't, we've said some nice things about EA, but I was just sitting there thinking about like, what has EA done in the last 5 years? And I think this is like they started a bunch of new studios, and I think they've closed almost all of them, besides one. Because they started Ridgeline Games to work on Battlefield out of Seattle with Marcus Leto, who was the co-creator of Halo, and they shut that studio down just a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now. And then they had Cliffhanger. They shut that down. I have a bad feeling Motive is next on the chopping block at some point.
Yeah, so they said Motive is still hard at work on the Iron Man game that we have not shown off at all.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, I'm not gonna hold my breath.
What was the other studio? They the racing studio. They bought Codemasters. Yeah, and it's like they just laid off a bunch of them too.
Yeah,
Is Criterion still on Need for Speed?
Yeah, because they pretty much killed Ghost Games as well, who were making Need for Speed, and then it went back to Criterion. I think Ghost Games still exists, but I think Criterion is like the lead on racing games again.
Right, because they've still been putting stuff out. Like it wasn't too long ago, like there was another title update for the latest Need for Speed.
Unbound, yeah.
It was I was rewatching some old E3s last couple weekends, and at E3 2010, at the EA conference, the head of EA at the time came out and said, the first parties, Microsoft and Sony, think of themselves as the Academy Awards, they think of themselves as summer blockbusters, but we see ourselves as the Sundance Film Festival of video games. And I'm like, the head of EA? But then the things they showed were like Dead Space 2, and I'm like, that is a summer blockbuster. But also, that is not, like, do you not know what the Sundance Film Festival is? Like,
it was hilarious.
Like a truly insane thing to say. And then they're like, here's Madden and The Sims. And I'm like, what? But yeah, RIP Sundance Film Festival of Video Games.
I think the funniest thing about that statement they put out was that they put Skate as one of their big IP franchises that they're going to pay attention to. And it's like,
that game's not
is that going to do okay today?
No.
Like, what kind of expectations are they putting on that to have that in that sort of?
Well, I don't know, but I don't like. Really, like Skate, like you
know what's gonna blow it out of the water sales wise? Just the Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remasters.
Yeah, Tony Hawk is totally
a lot less
just
work
back.
put into that because they're just gonna be like, oh, sick, Bam Margera's back.
Yeah, so EA at this point, like their franchises are the sports games, Battlefield. They don't know what to do with Titanfall. Apex Legends is kind of on the downward trend. And
I mean,
Mass Effect is not a sure
Dragon
shot.
Age was kind of a misfire.
Yeah, Mass Effect's not a sure shot
at all, and they have a lot of eggs in that basket too.
That's kind of where I'm getting where I just don't know like what the plans are for EA or Ubisoft anymore. Like, will they exist in 5 more years? I don't know. Like, are they just going to be sports games and Battlefield? Like, that's all EA is going to be. I don't know. I would have been excited if like Ubisoft went back to being private, but now they've done this deal with Tencent, and I think kind of have their future set in stone of they have to make all the money still, even though they're split into 2 companies.
Yeah, like as an outsider in terms of all the business dealings, because I very much do not know what the hell's happening in that regard. Like, it's very clear that they would love to go private again. Yeah. But I think that ship has sailed. Like, there's too much money on the table because of how big the company has grown. And there are outside forces who are involved that don't have the same interest. Like, they don't care about the quality of titles that comes out. They care about getting money back out of their investment. And so they will tear it apart for scraps if they get the opportunity.
You know what Ubisoft's problem is? They have too many Gilla Mays and not enough Gilla Yays. That's their problem. Let's talk about Summer Game. We did it!
This is why you were
talking about
nauseous earlier. You were holding on to
We're
that
talking
the whole
about
time.
Summer Game Fest. Chat, a little peek behind the curtains. The last 20 minutes of the Last of Us stream, I got crazy nauseous and sweaty. If I looked sweaty at the end of that stream, it's because I was sweaty, and then I laid down for several hours, and now I'm feeling great. I don't know what happened.
It was probably just cordyceps.
Oh no, the cordyceps. All right, we got some super chats to go to, but they do kind of tie in. Some of them tie into our thing. So I'm going to be reading the super chats, but I'm going to read some of them out of order just to frame things. But like, don't worry, S6, I want to get to yours. Yours is a little beefier thing, but we'll get to that after this. Casey, I want you to start because Just Please, with a pair of $2 donos, said, "Why is my boy Mega Man in the thumbnail?" And then I want Mega Man X9 so bad. Casey, I did not talk to either of you about what your predictions were or your hopes or anything. However, I did put Mega Man on the thumbnail.
Right.
Do you have any faith in the idea of a Mega Man or Mega Men being at any of the Summer Game Fest showcases?
Like the last new thing Capcom showed us was a return to old beloved franchises. They're going back and making a new Okami. They're going back. They're making a new Onimusha. Right. They're releasing old Onimusha. Right. They've been releasing old compilations of Mega Man for years. Like, I don't know if those numbers are good for them or not, but they've been doing it, and they had the wherewithal when presented the opportunity to stick Mega Man in that secret level project, which we all know these game companies use as marketing.
Yeah.
Like the Pac-Man one, for example, specifically marketed the game that they're about to release.
Pure art.
I mean, it can be both. Two things can be true.
Sure.
So, especially the secret level move gives me the sense that they do want to reignite some talk about Mega Man, which means they must have an idea. They must be working on something. I expect to hear something about Mega Man. I don't know what. I pray it is nothing related to the Battle Network series. Please don't do that to me.
That's a real monkey's paw moment.
Yeah, please don't do that to me.
Yeah.
Even if it's like not X related, at least make it be Mega Man is action platforming shooting. I will play a new iteration of just that versus, the X style. I'm okay with that. But yeah, that is my prediction.
Yeah, and they've they've been revisiting their sort of dormant franchises for a while now. Onimusha has made a big comeback, and then those pretty much every Mega Man game except for the Legends series, seemingly. There's probably a few others, but are in those compilations and everything. So it does.
OGs, they did X, they did ZX, and they did Battle Network.
Your favorite? No. I would love to see Mega Man come back. I like that guy. I like him. He's got a gun in his hand.
It's pretty cool.
Him and Samus should kiss because they both got guns on their hands.
So isn't he young?
Okay, him and Samus probably shouldn't
in
kiss.
robot age.
Him and Samus probably shouldn't kiss, guys. I keep telling you, you guys keep trying to push Samus and Mega Man as a thing, and I keep telling you guys they probably shouldn't kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Like a mentor-mentee relationship. I think I could see.
Okay, I like that.
Just
okay,
like in
great.
Persona 5 with the journalist and Nuts-kun.
You press the buttons. You press the buttons. Casey, what other predickies do you got going on there?
What else do I have? Where would I write things at? Okay, so outside of Mega Man, FromSoft tends to always have some sort of a presence at Summer Game Fest. Even between projects, they'll just kind of give you like a, hey, here's what's coming. So now that Night Ring has launched literally today, I think they might be ready to just tease whatever's next. Mm-hmm. So I have no idea what it is. Like maybe they want to do more Armored Core. It could just be like DLC for Armored Core or something too, because they haven't gone back to that well as far as I remember.
That's right. Yeah.
But something. I think FromSoft will tell us something about another franchise, not an Elden Ring related thing.
So we have that. They did announce a new game like a month ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch.
FromSoft did?
Yeah, the Nintendo
Yeah,
Switch
the Dusk
sequel.
Bloods.
Oh crap! That
Prediction.
I completely forgot about that.
I completely memory hold it as well. So don't feel bad, because that game is seemingly multiplayer centric, which I'm kind of like I don't really give a shit about this. However, like you said, Elden Ring Night Rain dropped. I think about 90 minutes ago, and it currently has 311,000 concurrent players on Steam alone. And that is 90 minutes ago the game came out. So despite the fact that its reception has definitely been a bit more muted compared to every FromSoft game. It sounds like people who are willing to strap in for a multiplayer centric Elden Ring experience are happy about it. So maybe that's something, if this game sells like hotcakes, that again fuels them doing it for Switch 2. Although I don't feel like Switch 2 has an infrastructure for that. I don't trust that at all.
But you'll be able to watch each other play through their new special cam system.
Yeah, that's nice. Nintendo's always been nice like that.
You can just watch people crash out through a Souls game.
What else did you have, Casey?
I also have. I think we will finally get to see officially the Wolverine game that
Speaking of
Sucker Punch is working on. Oh, I'm sorry,
Insomniac.
not Sucker Punch. Insomniac.
Yeah.
Insomniac's working on. Maybe not a release date, but just something. Like, show us what the hell that game is. Give us some hope that these Marvel projects are going to come out. Please.
That's something. I feel like I have faith in this one, if only because the Spider-Man games both released and we're enjoying, and Miles Morales, but with that big old leak from Insomniac, apparently those games were crazy expensive, and like even though they sold really well, might not have
made the money back.
Super beneficial for them. But yeah, I hope that I have high hopes for that Wolverine game.
And I would hope they've managed to, in light of that, like with the Spider-Man stuff, scope it properly. Like, it doesn't need to be this massively big cinematic thing. Like, make a fun gameplay loop with this hero character, and it'll do well. Like, people love Wolverine.
It doesn't need to be open world. Just let me go to like Madripoor and just cut some fools in a club.
Yeah. And if that releases, then it ups the chances that the Blade game will be okay.
God, yeah. Forgot about that Arcane's Blade game.
Yeah.
Do either of you think we'll see Arcane's Blade?
Not this year.
No, I don't think so.
So I guess what we're jumping around a little bit. What from Xbox proper you guys think? David Cook over in the Patreon said Everwild news, please. Do you think we'll see Everwild? That was the game from Rare.
Was that not
several years ago? And then
was that not officially canceled at some point?
No, it was internally rebooted. And I've seen a couple inside, like Jez Corden and Jeff Grubb both say it's coming along well, apparently, and it's more of a Viva Pinata-esque title these days, rather than, I think it was like originally like survival crafting kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think I remember that being the idea.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think there's a good chance we can maybe see a little glimpse of it.
Where are we? Okay, I'm going to run down some games. Give me a yay or nay that we see them in the next 2 weeks. Fable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed that little gameplay preview snippet a couple months ago. Looks like it's really coming along really well. I think it's due for a proper gameplay reveal finally. I think they'll do one.
That's what I want to see.
I think they'll do one of their nice like walkthrough demos for that.
Because I disagree. I don't think that last gameplay thing was enough gameplay. Like that looked really hand-holdy in terms of what they showed, and a lot of it was just CG.
No. They did a not that. They did a little. It was like in an Xbox podcast episode where they showed off snippets of actual like in gameplay. I shared it on my social media.
Maybe I didn't see that.
Yeah, you probably
It was
did.
just an audio podcast, though, and so it was just the host being like, damn, that looks good. Oh, look at that. Look at the size of that mushroom.
Too bad Eric's not here to produce and show it. Stupid people shooting his
Nick,
fiber wires.
But you're not talented enough. I don't know why I said that. Like, I would not know what I was doing. Last time I hosted a podcast, I started sweating in the last 20 minutes. I guess it wasn't a podcast. That was a stream. Darren kept calling it a podcast, which I thought was nice. That was it. We know we're going to see the Outer Worlds 2. Outer Worlds 2. I saw Casey get a little excited. Outer Worlds.
No, yeah, because my brain did do the thing.
Yeah, I believe that is the how the last few years there's been after the showcase. There's a deep dive into one game. They did like the Starfield one a few years ago, and I think they might have done Hellblade last year or something. They're doing that for Outer Worlds. Do you think Perfect Dark? Yay or nay?
It would be good to see Perfect Dark, but honestly, I've not been thinking about it, and that's kind of scary. Mm-hmm. Like if there was more to show, I feel like they would be kind of happy to tease that, hey, it's coming along, it's going to be around because of how tumultuous it is. If it's a surprise, it's a pleasant one. But I don't know. I feel like we'd hear something rather than a big explosion of perfect dark news.
Sure.
So I don't know. A little tepid on that.
Yeah. Nick, as a Gears fan, do you think Gears of War E-Day will be shown?
Nah.
Wow. Just a straight nah? What are they showing there?
I definitely think we're gonna see Fable. I think we'll see Everwild.
State of Decay? Contraband?
Yeah, I think State of Decay would definitely be
Project
one of them.
Milo?
I don't know
That way?
Yeah, Clockwork Clockwork Empire? I think it's due. We're due to Clockwork Revolution. Yeah, we're due to see some of that.
You know what I think we'll see? This isn't one of my predictions. I think we'll see what Double Fine's been working on, because it's been like 3 years since Psychonauts 2.
Good. Yeah, I think we'll get a tease of what it is. I don't think we'll see
something. 3 years. Yeah.
Well, the last couple of things Xbox has released, with the exception of Doom that just came out, I feel like has been on the scaled down side. Like they ate a ton of studios, and some of those studios do have like AA energy. And Microsoft has been pretty hands off, and they kind of just released their AA ass games, like Hellblade 2, like South of Midnight.
Yeah.
So maybe Double Fine will just have a full thing ready.
Going back to our EA discussion, like I will give props to Microsoft. Like we're getting a lot of varied, unique titles out of them, and I'm glad they're funding them. And if Game Pass is the reason for that, great. Like it feels like they're the only.
We've banged this drum. Game Pass this year has been fucking incredible.
Yeah,
like for Microsoft
it really
games
has.
And for shit like Claire Obscure and Blueprints, and which Blueprints is on everything, I believe, or it was on PlayStation Plus as well. But still, very cool.
Certain Affinity has been working on some secret Xbox project for a long time now. I'm waiting to see if we hear anything about that. I don't know. Xbox has so many different things they could show, but I think Fable's going to be their focus this one.
Yeah.
Like
I'd love if it wasn't though.
Well, we've had
something more exciting than Fable, because we've all been waiting for that.
You're just not excited for Fable. I'm very excited.
No, I mean if it's good, it's good. But we know that that's a thing, and we've at least seen some of it.
Yeah.
I would love for them to like kind of blow us out of the water with something that we're not anticipating. That because they have so many irons in the fire. Like give us something that we don't think is coming.
Yeah.
Casey.
Like Halo 9.
Wow.
They're rebooting it all.
Just
skip all
the 9 Halo.
I do wonder if like it's been a long time since they talked about Halo, aside from when they announced, Halo Studios. I do wonder if we get like a tease of where they're going with the franchise, of like are we getting the Halo 1 remake? Like, is that what they're going to kick off Unreal Engine 5
Probably
with?
Shooting aliens with some dumb rig again.
That's fine with me.
If they did a remake, you think this would like launch on PlayStation?
Well, Master Chief. No, they announced Gears for the PlayStation. That's still
weird. But Halo was like. That's their guy. He's green, like the Xbox is green.
It would be a good way to reignite interest in the franchise for a whole bunch of people who have never played it. Like I'd be glad to see them bring Halo to PlayStation.
That's true. Casey, did you have any other?
What else did I write? Yes. We saw that folks got hands-on with Crimson Desert. That game looks really freaking good. This might just be a me thing. Give us a release date. Let me know when that's coming out.
Yeah, that's Pearl Abyss, the developer, is one of the partners confirmed for the Keighley showcase. So
right, and that is famously where they first showed us the wonder and enigma that is Dokkaebi.
Listen,
so once Crimson Desert is out and finished, that is clearly where their attention is going.
Yeah.
So just fingers crossed that sequence of events transpires.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Denmark with a $2 dono said, "Is it time to put the clown nose on? Because Denmark, it is time to put the clown nose on."
You've been wearing that clown nose for 4 or 5 years now. Just keep it on.
The Genki boys stay winning, even though the Genki boys are in far last place. Yes, there is a 100% chance Silk Song is going to be shown in the next 10 days.
100%?
100, a guarantee. That's a Cajun guarantee right there. I got 2 guarantees, and that's one of them. We're seeing it.
All right.
Absolutely, we're seeing it. It's
No,
gonna have
you're making me believe.
Still,
She's gonna have a little like a sword.
it's still that's the way. If it's ready, that would be the way I would close out the Xbox show, showing that as a Game Pass release and a release date. That would, you'd like if we had who wins. Yeah, if you had who wins E3, that would be it. Just for novelty. Just for the fact they announced it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would absolutely break the internet.
Yeah, that's one of my. That is one of my predictions. I also think it's been a lot of very bad leaks, and pretty much the worst kept secret is the Persona 4 remake, which Yuri Lowenthal, one of the voice actors from the game, yesterday just posted on Blue Sky. Yeah, it really sucks. They did not invite me back to voice Yosuke in the Persona 4 remake, which has not been revealed yet. That is not a game that's been announced. And he's like, yeah, it really fucks. And then another one of the voice actors were like, yeah, I'm also not a part of the remake. And I'm like, that's a good way to use your spite. And people are like, you broke NDA, and they're like, I'm not in the game.
Yeah, what
not
NDA?
An NDA.
I wonder how they found out then. Like an agent tell them, oh, this thing is happening, and you're not on the payroll.
It makes sense also because characters in Persona 4 were voiced by Troy Baker and Laura Bailey. I think at this point, Sega is probably just well, let's get the remake out there and just fucking cast some people. Don't pay them. Don't pay those AAA rates. I think also actors are still on strike, so it's possible Persona 4 is going to be a game that crossed the picket line. Which, man, that's going to be a moment for me if that happens.
Play it like a filthy scab.
I was about to say, will my absolute solidarity with unions? What happens when it hits Persona? Ooh, that's gonna be tough. We'll see. That'll be a real character defining moment for me.
Can't wait.
Outside of that, Nintendo is confirmed to be at the Keighley showcase. I do not think, since it is going to be 2 days, a day, 24 hours after the Switch 2 releases, I think my guess is Keighley Loves His Celebrities. Paul Rudd is going to be there because Paul Rudd was in an old Super Nintendo, one of his first acting jobs, a Super Nintendo commercial. They brought him back for an updated version of that ad. I think he will come out and do something kind of in character, like a little spoof and goof. That seems like the level of celebrity he could get, right?
He's gotten bigger celebrities than that.
Sure, that's what I mean. It doesn't seem like it's that strange. Yeah,
and not to say Paul Rudd is a big celebrity. I'm not trying to downplay Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is a
who do you think would be too big? Is there anyone too big?
Beyonce will never show up at the
remember when Beyonce was doing the DS things? Those DS commercials?
Yeah, she wasn't as big as she was then.
Training her brain and playing with her dogs.
I do wonder how much they paid her for that. Because it must have been a lot even then.
My 2 other predictions are we see the new game from Yacht Club, the Shovel Knight devs, and I think we're going to see 2 things. I think we're going to get the Mina the Hollower release date, which is good because that's one of the Genki boys. And then I think they're going to show off the next core game, which I think is going to be a 3D Shovel Knight game. So I think Shovel Knight is finally entering the world of 3D.
So you think it'll be like a mascot platformer type thing? Or will it follow in its Mega Man roots and be like a Legends-esque?
Ooh, that's a good thing. Yeah, I feel like it would still have some RPG-ish elements, but almost like a Mega Man Legends Jak and Daxter kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but with a shovel. And then my last thing, this is more of just a hope, is it's been 6 years since the Outer Wilds released. Not Outer Worlds, Outer Wilds. And I would love to see what that team's follow-up is. So I would love the follow-up from the Outer Worlds, the Outer Wilds. Ooh, that is such a hard one. Son of a bitch. The follow-up to Outer Wilds. But I don't think it's going to be in the Outer Wilds universe or anything. Just, what is that team working on? I'd like to see it.
I think it will be. Only because Outer Worlds 2 is coming out, and we need that sort of chaos back in our lives, where those two properties just continue to exist in tandem.
Could you imagine? I think that would be beautiful.
Outer Worlds 2, and then they announce Outer Wild.
God. And then Idlewild. Idlewild comes out.
That's a great, I love that movie. And album. Amazing.
Yeah. Nick, what do you hope /fear/think we will see?
The first thing I put on my list was the next entry in the Metro franchise. I think Deep Silver's like fresh out of games that they have announced right now, so it's time to hear what their lineup is coming. And also 4A Games like just celebrated the 15th anniversary, I think, of the series, and they put out a blog post of like they're hard at work on the next game, and it's coming out soon, and they kind of had to because of that La Quimera game that was from like the 4A Ukraine team that split off and made their own studio called Reburn. And that, tell you what, little side tangent here, that was one of the weirdest releases of this year that went completely under everybody's radars. So we got the press release for that game. It's like a new first-person shooter from that studio set in like a like futuristic version of South America. Really cool looking trailer and everything. And then suddenly it was like, oh, this game's coming out in May. And we're like, what? Like, real quick announcement, like within like 3 weeks. The game was supposed to come out, got delayed on Steam at the very last minute, like before they were supposed to release. And then they went back and said, oh, now it's an early access game because the reviews were already very negative that were coming in from the press. And so they changed it on the fly to an early access game.
And then, like, what if we say it was paid actors?
That was a very, very weird release. So anyways, next Metro game from the core 4A team. Obviously, we kind of already talked about, I think there's going to be a proper Fable gameplay reveal finally. Look at our document. What else I put in there?
You put Resident Evil 9. That's the last one.
Resident Evil 9. Yep, that one's...
I can see Resi 9.
I think that one's kind of obvious at this point. It's been kind of leaked for so long at this point.
It's just been a while since Resi 8, and there's no current Resi games on the docket, and we know they're clearly working on 9. Do you think we'll see Pragmata in that game? Every 5 years they show a weird trailer with like a little girl and a robot.
I have.
But it's the same trailer. Like it's not a new trailer, right?
As I was previously going to Summer Games Fest, I have no comment on that one.
I mean, that's kind of you could have just literally not said anything because I know the same thing, and I.
Then why did you trap me?
I didn't trap you. Just what?
The meme where the kid just sticks the stick in the front wheel of his bike.
I didn't sign anything.
Were we misled?
But the two games that I didn't put in the notes that I was thinking about as we were talking. One is the next game from the Ancestors Humankind studio that's run by Patrice Desilets.
Oh man, that game was not good though.
It sold very well.
Did it?
Yeah, it sold very well. He was at some.
To who?
I don't know. I was talking to people while I was in Canada about it. Apparently, it sold very good, like 2 million copies.
Canadians love it, probably. Like, Patrice, he's one of those.
But he was
come here.
He was at an event, Patrice, a few months ago, where they showed off a little like snippet of whatever they're working on next to the crowd, and apparently people that were there said it had very big hints of like that canceled project that he was working on at Ubisoft, 1666.
Oh, like that caveman thing.
What?
It was like a Stone Age thing, right? Or
no, like it was called the project he was working on was called 1666. Marty, if you can Google
1666 Amsterdam.
Yeah,
was the name of the game. I don't remember anything about it. I just remember that was its name.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a historical action adventure open world game. You know, that's what
Ubisoft's never done one of those.
No, never, ever.
I understand why you'd want to move it somewhere else.
Yeah,
no one's ever done one of those. We don't have tons of those.
What if we set a game in the past? Just hear me out.
Somewhere in Europe. You know.
The other game I think we'll see is the new game from Wolf-Eye Studios, who made Weird West. They've already kind of they've already kind of teased it a few times on social media, and they're having playtests for it right now actually. But it's like a first-person immersive sim with kind of like this steampunk kind of western feeling vibe to it. So. Yeah, I'm excited to see what that is because it seems like they've got a much bigger budget from it.
Nice. More money equals better game.
Always.
Says I.
Yes.
That's what I say.
That's what EA and Ubisoft said too.
Hey, it worked out fine for them. Dower Dodger over in the Patreon with a question: with GTA 6 being postponed to 2026 and its old release space of this fall now vacant, have there been any games that have had solidified release dates for that period? Not too many. I do think check back with us in 2 weeks, and I think there will be a lot of dates for September, October, November. I guess Pokemon got a solid date mid-October, which is surprisingly earlier than Pokemon. Pokemon's usually right before Black Friday, so maybe that's cluing in that maybe Nintendo has something beefy for February? Or not February, November. Jesus. How did I get those months wrong? What? I was like, what's after October? I got it. February.
Hey, J-Mate.
So I fucked up that one. Yeah, seriously. But yes, I think we'll see that soon. And then some more super chats. S6 with $10 Australian. Thank you so much. Not related to Summer Game Fest, but I like the question. S6 started. Maybe this is a question for dev heads. Is game dev the most wasteful creative industry? For example, Battle Aces, that anime RTS that gaslit Casey and Marty. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And that was RTS. It was just canceled, even though it was playable in a beta. Why not release the beta version? It does seem like it is. Obviously, these sort of projects fall through in movies, in TV and stuff like that. It seems like it happens way further into production, way more often in games.
Yeah, I feel like
I think things in movies get like announced but like they don't go like into production usually. You know, we talk about how every time a video game movie gets announced, it's like, well, we'll see. We'll see if Elden Ring ever happens. We'll see if the Death Stranding movie happens, that kind of thing. But like, it's not like they're like, well, we shot for 2 months, we went into post-production, and we were like, well, this isn't just going to work. Let's just write it off. I guess unless you're HBO and
Warner Brothers, yeah.
Warner Brothers, yeah.
Because what HBO? I thought the numbers came out on like what HBO spent on some of those pilots for like those Game of Thrones spin-offs that they canceled. Some of them were like kind of an obscene amount of money.
Well, and like with the Batgirl movie, that was fit, and same thing with I mean the Cowboy or the Coyote versus Acme movie ended up resuscitated by another studio, but
I would definitely not think. I think there's way more that we don't hear about that never comes out from other industries. I'm sure games industry wastes a ton of money, but I mean, imagine how much R&D they put into the tech industry, and we never see that stuff.
Oh, sure, yeah,
absolutely. And there's also the question of what do you consider waste, because video games are kind of unique, especially in comparison to movies and TV, where you need to get to a certain point before you know whether this product is actually good or not. Mm-hmm. So you can't really be like, oh, this. Like you got to get something playable, and there's a ton of money, investment, time, energy to get just there before maybe a decision gets made. And even after that, it could be like, all right, well, this still isn't working, or this hasn't worked after our initial plan or whatever, before it gets scrapped, if it gets scrapped. Whereas
just wait till
you could do like
out.
the first edit of the thing and be like, all right, well, maybe let's not do this Nazi romance story.
just wait till how much money we find out has been lost on AI projects.
Oh yes, shit with the metaverse and everything.
Yeah. In VR.
Yeah, we even saw it with like the huge shift to like motion control Kinect shit and 3D TVs and everything, and that's just the industry we pay attention to. Like that happens in every industry. Like I have friends who work for major sports leagues and friends who work for like cosmetology colleges, where like when they tell me about the waste there, like every industry I think has like a shit
pharmaceutical.
Ton of waste.
You know what? I'm gonna plant a flag and say. And I guess this because it touches every industry. Advertising, I think, is the most wasteful industry.
Oh yeah, because there's like a budget allocated to it. And they're like, well, we gotta do something. And
and they do it, whether it works or not. Who knows? And sometimes most of the budget is just to one dude. Like John Cena just has the whole budget.
Like there's like commercials for there's that Monopoly Go game, which is like crazy popular.
Just four A-list celebrities just
it'll be like John
Monopoly
Krasinski
board.
And Jason Momoa in a car, and they pick up Demi Lovato, and I'm like, what is this? And it looks like it was filmed on a day on like the shitty version of the volume. Very strange.
You know what? I can't believe this is like still in existence. Like paper billboards.
They work.
Speaking of
Like,
LA,
people,
Do they?
still,
Yeah.
Half of them are like, at least out here in the Midwest, half of them are like, you better listen to Jesus.
Yeah, I think they work better in places like I think in
New
LA
York.
that's still like a very big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So like a
in the
movie
Midwest, it's a lot of-
poster on the buses
lot
and
of
all that.
Jesus.
But yeah, out
Yeah.
here it's like, you better listen to Jesus or he'll take your house away.
Yeah, Jesus famous for stealing homes from people. Ryan Betts with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Ryan Betts. Second wind game jam when? We've like floated ideas. Nothing concrete. We've floated.
is it just Jay, Jamae, and Yahtzee who are participating? Like,
I'm sure I could make a game.
Yeah, it's real easy. Just give me $100 million.
Oh, fucking bunch of right click, put in some jumps. Whatever. It's fine. No, I think I'd be fucking awful at making a game. I have no game ideas. I have zero game ideas.
no, I've got tons of ideas, zero way to implement them.
Yeah. Like a game where
Matter of fact-
Mega Man and Samus Kiss
No, that's all you. I saw your design, Doc.
was to be on my game jam team.
Like I had an idea that I wrote down in a notepad forever ago about a game that I saw an indie dev post a working version of. Like, so at some point they just had the same idea and was able to make it. So that's my life.
Notebook. They stole your notebook.
It's not even a real notebook. It exists
Yeah.
in the cloud or whatever.
Oh no, cloud notebook.
So you didn't even make the notebook.
They stole the notebook. A superb owner with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. Kronos is about to be Yahtzee's game of the year.
The new game from Bloober Team, the Resident Evil
Oh,
Dead Space looking like.
yeah, that's right.
I'm excited for
Yeah,
Wasn't there
that.
something else called Chronos?
Yeah, that was the game from Gunfire Games, the Remnant prequel.
Yeah, that's what comes up when I freaking search.
That's why
for
I
it.
was confused. Is this thing called Kronos?
It's Cronos. The Chronos Casey's thing of
Oh,
CH.
gotcha,
Oh,
gotcha.
they spelled it funky. Okay.
There's only one game I want to see at Summer Game Fest, and it's Chronos Trigger. Give us that remake. Square, Square's got to tell us what's going on. Square doesn't have any games. They got a Dragon Quest 12 that they said is going to be adult.
And Kingdom
I don't know
Hearts.
what that means. Yeah, I got Kingdom Hearts 4. But they got. I bet at the next Switch Direct, they're going to show off Final Fantasy 9 remake. They're going to show
Bring
off the
back
Chrono
Tactics.
Trigger remake. Bring back
What are you
fucking
doing?
Tic Tacs. Yeah, let's see how Sora and Goofy are doing. Now that
Well, they
Disney
still-
owns Fox, like they could have a whole level in fucking Kingdom Hearts that's set in the Bear. Could you imagine being in that restaurant, being yelled at by a bunch of Chicago Italians? It'd be
Start
incredible.
Beating him up with a keyblade.
Gorsh, they sure are angry at each other. How great would that be?
I don't want Goofy in the kitchen. I'm sorry.
No dogs in the kitchen. Against the health code. Listen, if Ratatouille could be in the kitchen, Goofy could be in the kitchen.
He wasn't supposed to be in there. That was a crime.
He was not. No, that was a whole plot point. He got yelled at. He had to hide behind that man's hat. Fungus Finder with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. Don't you dare blame your sweat on those poor mushrooms, Marty. No, I blamed it on missing Darren. I didn't blame it. It wasn't the Last of Us fault. It was Darren went to go get a package, and I started sweating because I missed him. Then he came back, and I kept sweating for like the next hour and a half.
Can't leave me again.
Yeah, you can't leave me again. Nick Knoll with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Nick. Marty, remember that if you open up Magic cards on stream, they're tax deductible. First off,
It's true.
that's a great reminder. Second off, I don't do my taxes, so it's fine.
I mean, somebody has to.
Come at me, government.
Don't.
I do my taxes. Please don't come after me because I'm not sure if I do them right. I do them myself, and I don't do them well. I'm very excited for the Magic Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering. I believe it is June 13th. Mark your calendars.
Okay. But
For the
the,
beginning of the end.
has the Persona gotcha game dropped yet?
No, that's like 10 days later after that.
All right, well.
So I have a real busy month. It's Summer Game Fest and Steam Next Fest. Well, I guess the Switch comes out. Summer Game Fest, Steam Next Fest, Magic the Gathering cards, Death Stranding 2, and I got to get all of those out of my system, and then the Persona Gotcha game will be there, and this is going to be tough. This is going to be
So,
tough,
This
June.
is going to be, I'm worried.
You should get a little bit more close with the government then, because it sounds like you'll be filing bankruptcy.
Oh, no. You just have to scream, I declare bankruptcy, and everything will be fine.
On podcast, I declare
Yeah.
bankruptcy.
Fungus Finder with another $2 dono. Thank you so much. Oh, and Casey, your Costco Switch plan is very good. Thanks.
Oh, we don't know if it'll work yet.
What is your Costco Switch plan?
Just to show up at a
Early that
Costco
morning.
really early and try to get one physically.
Oh yeah, nobody else in New Jersey will think
there's
about
more
doing
rules
that.
than like just a regular, big box
Yeah,
store.
because it's different than a Target because you got to have a membership.
Do they have like a fight club to get
We'll
in?
find out.
Costco sells so much that they might have a fight club. Like
They
you can
just
buy
sell
a
you
car
a membership
at
to
Costco.
Yeah,
buy
I'm gonna get my
cookies.
tires
Shit,
from there.
If you go behind the hot dog stand, there's a secret fight club.
I mean, that's the thing is even if you don't get a Switch, you can get some morning pizza.
Their pizza's so
Their
good.
pizza's good. You can
It's
get morning
so
pizza.
good.
And you know what? It could be morning pizza, and it can work both ways. Morning because it's early, and morning because you're sad.
Because you didn't get a Switch.
That was beautiful. And then Denmark re-upped in the tip jar, 18 months. Thank you so much, Denmark, and a $2 dono. So when is the Persona 5 stream?
We just
Nick?
funded it today, so give me a minute. Can't be like tomorrow, or can't?
All right, you heard it tomorrow.
Fuck. No. It'll be sometime
that'll be
in.
fun.
It probably won't be June because June is
I was about to
fucking
say 'cause
insane.
back half of June.
But
it's
we'll
gonna have
do
trips.
it in
Probably
July. Yeah. We'll do it on July 4th. That seems like a good day to do it. Nothing's happening that day.
Which means, since that's set in stone, guys, tell us what you want the next funding goal to be.
That's true. Tell us what you want.
Counter program Persona with a Dokapon stream. That seems like a terrible idea.
I have to. How about I have to stream 8 hours of Persona 5 at the same time I stream 8 hours of Metaphor. To play each one on one monitor with a controller in each hand.
You're bad at those games when you're paying attention to words. You're terrible at those games.
What's this character say to me? What did you say to me? I look like John Bernthal when he's having a crash out.
Oh no! I love that. And then one last Patreon comment from Jeffrey. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. What would publishers have to show you to get excited for a game? Gameplay trailer, demo announcement, second win documentary. That last one was a little goof, but like what? Like, I guess more like from a higher level. Like, what do we want to see? From what is a good reveal to us? I like something unexpected. But I also do like, and you can play it now. Even if it's not released now, you can play the demo now. I like those two things. Unexpected, you can play it now.
Like late stage game reveal is definitely up there. Where it's like
it's coming
this
out
game
like-
this game is pretty much done. You'll play it at most in like another month or two.
Yeah.
And then like whatever they do show, looks really fun, like just visually.
Yeah. Revealing a game, and then if they put a release date for this year, that's cool. Like, yeah, that's a little more than just a month, but like, if it's not like a nebulous trailer, and then sometime in the future, like if they're like it's coming out October 1st, that's cool.
Yeah, just I don't know. They're just showcases to me. Like I like to see what people are working on. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. We have so many games all the freaking time. Like there's no. I guess there's no skin off my back at this point if we don't get it. I don't remember like the last game that like I'm like I have to have that game in my hands today. I get very excited about games, but it's not. You know, I know we've worked in this industry long enough now that like I know the realities of it. So, I'm not a cynical Jotzi where it's like I'm never going to be excited about a game again. But it's like, oh, that looks interesting. I'll keep an eye on it. And then remember, GTA 6 is another year away.
Grand Theft Auto. Before we go into what we've been playing, the Man in Black with a $20 dono. Thank you so much, Man in Black.
Thank
Just
you.
showing my support. If Silk Song is not announced this year, then Marty owes it back to me. Here's my promise.
Where's your clown nose? You got a clown
Silk
nose
Song's
over
not
there?
announced, I'll stream Duck Dynasty.
Oh. Yeah, we had to set up bingo.
A very personal punishment stream.
Yeah,
I like how the fact
I'll max out my relationship level with that entire racist family in that game.
The fact that
I assume
game
it's like
is-
Persona, but they all like say things where like, ooh, that's an outdated term. We don't use that anymore.
The fact that game is within arm's reach of you disappoints me. To be honest, that should be in your broken closet.
I guess I also have the fucking Sonic 06 within arm's reach.
I mean, that makes sense for you. The Duck Dynasty game, like, that doesn't need to be in arm's reach. Like, at
I
least
thought it was called Duck Dynasty.
That would be a better game.
Duck
Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty. And then Red Dwarf for the $5 dono. Thank you so much, Red Dwarf. Next goal should be that Marty has to play 6 hours of a Western RPG.
I like
maybe
this
Fallout
idea.
New Vegas or Skyrim.
I like this idea.
That's not terrible.
Mostly because you'll be
I
lost the entire
I
time.
don't want
It's
to play
great.
Skyrim again. I don't want to play Skyrim. I fucking hated playing Skyrim. So I just want to, like, I'll do like a Fallout or something.
Oh yeah, like that.
Or,
You're gonna
Witcher,
like that
that's
anymore.
because they'll got P-Rogues in there or something.
Yeah, like I would want to aim, if we are going to do that, I would want to aim for something that Marty may potentially actually like, not something that we know he's bounced off of forever.
Yeah, people keep saying New Vegas. They're like, that's the one you'd like.
But Marty does not like having freedom in games.
I don't like having freedom in the real world either.
Yeah. Well, if you don't pay your taxes, the government can help with that.
Let's see him find me. I'm gonna be like Saw Gerrera. You have no idea where I am. They're like, Saw, we literally know exactly where you are.
and then huff some gas.
Rhino, my sister.
I just watched that speech too. Like, what was going on with Saul?
He's going wild. I like him. He's nuts.
You think I'm crazy? Me and my fiance, yes.
Yeah, as he huffs down like fumes from a bomb. Yes, you might be crazy.
He's wonderful. Laboratory music with the $2 dono. Thank you so much. Next goal, Marty learns to play Magic. People keep asking me really in-depth questions about Magic now that I said I'm going to buy these cards, and I'm trying to think of the most polite way to be like, I have no desire to play this game.
I just want to look at these.
I just want the nice art. And then also, there's like tons of, they're like, what about borderless? What about full frame? I'm like, I don't know what any of this means. I just want to open a pack and be like, ooh, a chocobo. Like, there's going to be enough endorphin rushes in that box that'll just get me through the next few months. That's all I'm looking for.
I'm curious. Nick, is there a Magic the Gathering art set or franchise collab that would make you go and buy Magic cards?
No.
Halo?
No,
Nothing.
I went through my card buying phase as a kid. I'm not doing that again. I'm too smart to buy something like that now.
No, you're not.
I am too.
You buy a bunch of steel books.
Yeah, you do. That's not unsimilar.
They won't degrade as fast.
I keep mine in a humidor. Is that good or bad? Would a humidor help or hinder?
Humidor?
I don't
Like
know
a humidor
what
is
that
where you like.
You're talking about borderless to me now.
You keep your stogies.
What?
Like a humidor, like a cigar room. Come on, guys.
I
You
know
don't
nothing
cigar
about
rooms.
cigars, cigarettes, cigarillos, none of that.
I do cigars. I didn't know they were called humidors.
Cigarillos.
Is there a door wall in there?
Humidor wall. And then inverse skies. You fucking were playing Marvel Snap. What are you talking about, Nick?
They're digital cards.
That's worse.
No, I didn't kill trees to make them.
Non-fungible. You don't give a shit about trees. How much fucking food delivery do you order?
That's the air. That's not trees. Trees don't make air.
That's kind of exactly what trees do.
Trees do make the air.
That's kind of exactly what trees do.
Trees make the air. That's the whole deal. They make paper and they make the air. Inverse skies with a $3 dono. Thank you so much. Next goal, Marty learns how to do his taxes. I know how to do my taxes. I just choose not to do them inverse skies. You're Australian. It doesn't matter. You probably don't even have taxes down there. You probably just like write a personal check and put it in the pouch of a kangaroo. I don't know why I got defensive there against the Australians.
because their taxes are like easy. Like every other country's taxes are like amazingly easy. In America, it's math, and it's like
the government knows how much we owe them.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
still make us
they're
do it
like
anyway.
The fucking jigsaw killer. It's like, you know what I did. Why do I have to say it to you?
They just want to see if they can get more money out of us than what we actually owe.
But if you send them more, they have to send it back. Like they legally have to send it back. So why is this complicated?
I got a thing in the mail last week that I owe more taxes, even though on the thing it says I paid the exact amount of taxes I owe.
They found some more.
I refuse.
Sorry, we checked on the
Hear
couch.
that?
You owe
I
more
refused.
There's an image. I'm in a group chat that we randomly send anytime we're mad about something in politics, and it was an image of Sinbad the comedian from the 90s, like wearing like a very bright shirt and going like, and it just says at the top, "For real, guys, when are we gonna start talking about overthrowing the government?" And anytime something bad happens, we send that image, and I'm like, you know what, Sinbad, I think it is time.
That's our next second win goal.
Overthrowing the government?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to set that at like 5 or 10,000. That's a
Yeah,
goal.
we got to get some airplane tickets for that.
Fund the next season of Adventure is Nigh plus overthrow the government. Also, I'm trying to get us to what we've been playing, but Sovereign with a €2 dono said next goal, Marty and Casey play through the Metro series.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the list. We had some ideas.
We have some ideas. I
They're
don't
not
know.
good ideas, but we have
Those
some.
games seem too, and I don't know because I've not played them, so
I know,
I may
'cause I've
need to
played
play
them.
them. But they seem too similar to go back to back to back.
No. I mean, yeah, but no.
I'm going to choose not to believe Nick.
He just said yeah. And then Blistered Soul with a 2-pound dono. Thank you so much. Maybe another big mode published title announced. I can see that.
Maybe.
'Cause I think the 2 games have come out. Animal Well and that one Star Providence, I believe it was called, came out. So yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm sure I know of the people showing stuff off. Like Annapurna's up there, Devolver's up there. Devolver will probably hold a digital direct. They do every year. Like Blumhouse, who's been doing spooky games, do that. So yeah, I think there's gonna be a shit ton of cool indies as well. There's also like the wholesome game stream, the Latin American developed games, women led games, Southeast Asian developed games. So yeah, hella cool indies.
Do you think Devolver will rein in some of their Volvi propaganda this time? Because I don't know, the last one we watched was not great.
Yeah,
like they kind of jumped the shark, I feel like.
Sure. Was it? I don't remember what the last one was.
It's time.
Exactly. It was like the guy. It was a guy. Volvi was like a thing he was obsessed with or something, and he like.
Oh, and it showed him like throughout his life. Yeah.
Okay. It was super abstract, and like we learned almost nothing about the games they should tell us about.
They should do what Hollywood does. It's time to kill Volvi, and then next year they bring him back.
Reboot.
Yeah, no, not even a reboot. Just another sequel because John Wick apparently wants to do that. I'm like, you.
Yeah, but this one's gonna be he's gonna. I think him journeying through hell. It's like somehow he finds out through a clerical error that his wife and his dog are also in hell, and he has to journey through hell to make sure.
That's just what dreams may come.
Yeah, starring Williams. What dreams may gun. That'd be sick. I got really excited for that movie that doesn't exist right now. Cool.
What dreams may gun.
What dreams may gun. What have we been playing and watching, Casey?
Not a ton. Nick and I actually earlier today were playing some Rematch, the slow clap joint, because that's got a beta out right now. Yeah. So you can check it out on Steam.
That's the action soccer game from the Sifu folks.
Yes, very much like the Streets series of sports games, like very loosey-goosey with the rules. They have 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and 5-on-5 modes, so you can get like real sweaty, I guess, with like a squad. And honestly, it's just a ton of fun. It's very easy to pick up, but you can very much see how technical they allow you to get as well with like the dribbling, like your ability to like tweak your shots to like kind of like curve them like around defenders and like fake people out and stuff. And every part of the gameplay is fun because you only control one character. You don't ever control like multiple people on a team, even if you're playing solo. So if you're the goalie per se, because that's a job that needs to get done, even that, which changes like kind of like what you do when you're in that goalie box, is fun as shit. Because like you can grab the ball, like you can toss it to people, you can set up like plays for the other for your squad, and it's super satisfying to intercept potential goals. Like it feels so good. Like and every piece of that feels like you're helping the team, even when you're not the one scoring the goal. Like me and Nick were kind of like gushing about it in the DQ that we're doing. So
are there any? If you didn't know is from Slow Clap, is there anything in there that like threads it to Sifu? Like anything even mechanically or ideologically that you're like, oh, I can kind of see that this is from the Sifu.
Like the visual style and the animation, like the detail in the animation definitely reads as Slow Clap. Like they are very good.
Like fluid human kinetic.
Yes, the way, like because it's online and it's still in beta, like there's some choppiness to some of the like network stuff. So, like the ball will like jump around, players will jump around a little bit here and there. But when that's not happening, like the way their character will just transition from like catching the ball, cradling it with the foot, like shaking somebody, and then going into like a shot, looks so freaking cool. Like they're like we got carried in one game by somebody who just for shits and giggles like kicked the ball over the top of his head, then jumped in the air and did like a bicycle kick into the goal, and it was just fucking awesome.
Sick as hell. Yeah.
It was just so fucking cool to look at. So like getting really good in that game, like the process feels fun, and then like super satisfying when you're actually doing the stuff that looks that cool as well. That was a big draw for Sifu. Is like the gameplay was fun, but watching the very cinematic feel of the fights as they would play out over the course of those levels was half the enjoyment of like why that game like felt so good to play.
Yeah, that
So
game
this,
it's immediately addicting. Like it's Rocket League is very fun and easy to pick up and very, very, very hard to master. But also I think there's even a learning curve to Rocket League that may put some people off, where this game feels very easy to pick up in a way that like Rocket League never did. Mostly because like the ball's physics driven, but it's not. It like magnetizes to the player so that you have more control, and it's not like so touchy feely. It's like I think anybody can kind of learn to play this game.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is going to be a big one. I bet we'll get a release date soon, right?
Like, it'll get a big release. It'll get a release date probably Summer Games Fest. The first beta had over 100,000 people in it, so
that's crazy. Yeah, and it's I know it's coming to Game Pass, and I think they said it's going to be $30 when it comes out. And you guys think this will be a pretty big?
Yeah, especially since people are getting hands on it with these betas. Like, it's something that folks are going to want to come back to once it's on sale.
And I feel like people who play the beta, and if they really like it, are going to talk to their friends and be like, "Oh, when this game comes out, you got to
we have to get a squad together, right? Because you want people on your team, because like when you're dealing with randos, they will ball hog and they will screw everything up.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's going to be crossplay.
That would help for sure.
Because that's one of the big things with Elden Ring is not crossplay. Night Rain is not crossplay, which sucks. That just sucks in 2025.
Yeah.
Like, that you have to like either buy a game twice or fully commit to all of you and your pals all going on the same one. So, yeah.
Casey, when we were recording the DQ, I was asking like, because it's a premium title, but it's also going to be a service title clearly. I was trying to think of like we talked for like a moment about like how are they going to expand on this game with like different game modes? Are they going to do different things? And it just kind of clicked with me. I think the reason it's called Rematch is so that's not specifically tied to soccer, and that they will add more sports over time.
Oh, interesting.
That would be interesting.
Because when we were playing, like I was thinking like basketball would fit so well for this, and you wouldn't have to change all that much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be interesting.
You could, because Rematch is universal. Rematch is not a soccer specific term.
Yeah, I if I were gonna, that kind of clicked in my head. I was like, let's call Rematch.
It would be so funny to see this game become fucking huge. Meanwhile, EA is like, oh, what do we do to get people back?
They're gonna be looking at this and we're like, why didn't we do a FIFA Street again? Like, bring back NFL Blitz and give us like Mortal Kombat level gore.
Remember that one NFL Blitz game where you could take like steroids and stuff? Like they lost the NFL license.
The 360 one.
You could cheat on your wife and take steroids. I can't
that was the only thing holding him back.
Yeah. Anything else? Watching, Casey?
I've put more time into Doom: The Dark Ages, and I know Jimate got a lot of flack for his video, and I don't feel as strongly negatively towards it as he may have done. That being said, I see exactly what he was getting at in that game, especially in comparison to Doom Eternal, very much dumbs down the mechanics that I fell in love with. Like that sort of very specific counter system where this situation requires you to do this. And once you do that, that helps you do this. And like they've sanded off all the edges of that to a degree where like, okay, they are giving you scenarios that are similar in that, okay, in this situation, you want to do this, but you could do that. And when you do that, it's the most effective, or you kind of just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like there's like, you won't be locked out entirely if you ignore like the prompt, even on the harder difficulty that I'm playing on. And the harder difficulty doesn't feel any more satisfying. All they really do is like double the damage that you take, and the parry window's a little smaller, but it's still super generous. But like it needs to be generous because like the amount of stuff that flies up for you, like you can't really concentrate on an animation or a thing flying towards you in the same way because of just how that game is set up. So like parrying doesn't really feel like parrying. It just feels like blocking, and then things happen because you block.
Sure.
Yeah. Have you finished it yet, Marty?
No, I've barely put any more time into it since.
Forgot to put it on my list. I finished it over the weekend, and like
Mhm.
I enjoyed it. I still like 2016 the most. I think like flow wise, that just had the best moment to moment action. I liked Eternal. I didn't love Eternal, and then I think I came away liking this one, but not loving it again, just because like it did feel too easy and too samey. Like there's not like any combat encounters I really remember from the game, having just done it, and like I love the aesthetic of the game and the art style, and the music. Yeah, I could take or leave it. It's definitely not Mick Gordon level of good. But I think like just flattening the level design as much as they did like really took away a lot of that like frantic momentum that you get from even Doom at 2016. And I think that's what kind of took it away. It was definitely they definitely took this standard fight terminal maybe a little bit too literal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you were gonna do that, maybe like add more melee options to make it really different.
That would have felt like an even more different game for sure. But like in that case, are we even playing Doom anymore?
Yeah.
If you're just doing melee combat out in the open field.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it could have been a mix of guns and melee, but you limit the ammo a bit more to force more melee, because that's clearly what they were kind of going for. Like even the bosses have like very telegraphed attacks and stuff where you don't have to switch ammo or anything to take them down. You kind of just spam them and stand in place. As
every
Jay
time
showed
they
in
do
his
their
video.
green thing, you just parry that, and then do that enough times, you can do the glory kill or whatever. I saw someone online. I hate that I can't remember who, but someone said that that Doom Dark Ages felt like the video game equivalent of kayfabe, which is that wrestling term. Yeah, which makes so much sense because like it's almost like they managed to ghost train ride the gameplay experience, where like a lot of stuff that's happening feels like it's just gonna, like, there are tons of enemies on the field, but like you just drop into the arena and a lot of them just die. Like that's just a thing. Like it's not like they're spending a lot of time, and maybe this is a side effect of that lore that they've been building since 2016 of how the Doomslayer is this entity that everyone fears, rather than letting you become that character by learning how to play really well in that space. Instead, you just are that. Like you are this atomic bomb that tears through everything, and everything in the game serves the idea that you are just much stronger than everything around you, and that's a lot less satisfying. Like we get it, the Doomslayer is kind of a big deal and everybody's afraid of him, but like let me do that as opposed to let me watch him, let that happen around him.
Did they have?
I can hear the sound of 100 angry commenters being like, "Why did you play it on medium? Why did you not turn it to a harder?"
I played it to. I played it on the harder difficulty.
Yeah, I played it on the harder difficulty too. I don't remember.
I played it on easy, and I think it's a delight.
I don't remember, but in 2016 in Eternal, because they didn't have like the champion. I mean, they had champion fights, but not like in the way they do in Eternal, where you need to like reduce the morale of them to lower their shields.
Yeah.
But did they have it where if you beat like that main guy, that all the other guys just evaporate? I don't remember.
A little bit.
Okay.
It was it's a sort of thing, because when there was a boss, you would need these sort of fodder guys in order to regain resources. You would need to do something specific to them in case you were low on something that you wanted to use on the boss.
Flamethrower, glory kills, or anything.
Yeah,
right,
no,
yeah.
I understand that, but like when you beat the champion or like the boss, all of the other enemies just disappear. You don't have to actually go finish killing them.
Oh.
I don't remember that happening. Yeah, I don't remember that happening.
That's kind of like a
games.
video game thing, right? Like
it takes
in a boss
Oh
fight.
sure, but it just takes me out of like the
experience,
momentum that I had.
Where the fuck did everyone go?
Yeah.
Like if I beat the boss, I want to like continue my bloodlust on these
exactly.
enemies, like just tear apart. Yeah. Now I hear what you're saying. Cool. Nick, you've been playing anything else?
The only other thing I've been playing, that I can talk about right now is Splitgate 2. There's an open beta for that as well. You can go grab it on Steam right now. Casey and I also filmed a discovery queue on that, so I won't spend too much time on it, but we played the alpha last year, and I think we did a topical punch on it, and I think both of us were kind of on it. But I don't remember my experience from that alpha because we didn't play that much of it. But now that the open beta is out here, like, oh man, like that game, I'm also really into Splitgate 2 right now. Everything like feels really good about that game. The movement feels good. The shooting feels good. The game modes are fun. There's like this mode that they added that's called Split Ball, and it's pretty fun. So each team has to bring 3 balls back to their base. And the enemy team can actually come in and steal those balls out of your base and take it to theirs. And so it's a very kind of frantic griffball type mode where you can use the portals to like throw balls through the portal to get it into your spot and everything. I think my main criticism of it is the same criticism that like many that are playing it are sharing, is like the portals kind of don't feel as necessary as maybe they should for a game that's built around them, which I think is a problem they've been facing for a while because
that's like the thing that separates it from
at the very least not in the early stages. Like maybe it becomes a bigger deal in like the high level play, but like if you want a bunch of new people to get into it, like you want them hooked on the uniqueness of that mechanic, right?
Yeah, well, I think part of the issue is like the movement is too fast to like really need it because you can get around the map so quick. But there's a 24-person mode where it's 3 teams of 8 that Casey and I took a look at, and that was the first time I played it today. And that's where like portals became more useful because the maps were bigger, and so I could sit on my side of the map with a sniper, put a portal behind the guys on the other side of the map, and then sit at my portal on my side of the map at a complete angle that nobody's paying attention to, and just picking off people through the portal. So it's one of those games where I think people over time, as they learn the maps and the routes and everything, they'll use portals more. But at least right now in the beta, you're not seeing it. It's kind of like Siege, right? Like when a new map comes out, everybody kind of plays it the same way. But as they learn the nooks and crannies of everything, the more skill starts to show through it. So, but yeah, it's the gameplay has given me like Halo vibes that I haven't had in a long time, and it's just between that and Rematch, I've got 2 multiplayer games that I'm actually really excited about for once.
That's awesome. Love to hear that. Does Splitgate have a release date?
Not yet, but it is.
Do you think it's this year?
It's definitely this year. Like, yeah, it's kind of. I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised to see it shadow drop during Summer Game Fest. It feels ready.
It's going to be free to play as well.
Free to play, yeah. And the thing that shocked KC was like the first Splitgate did really, really well, and I think it kind of went under the radar. Like the developers of this got like $100 million investment to make Splitgate 2.
Yeah,
so
that kind of blew my mind.
Game's got some crazy money behind it. Now,
give me $100 million to make a game, I just wouldn't make the game. I would just take
but how much more money could you make?
Oh, that's true. But then I'd have to make a game that a bunch of people like. It seems hard. Very cool. The big thing I'm still playing this week is Fantasy Life I. That's the girl who steals time. I talked about it last week when I only had a few hours in. I've now put I have a video that Jesse Galena is editing that'll probably be up early next week. And in that video, I said I've put 20 hours into the game. I'm now at almost 30 hours into the game since I've recorded that VO. The game is just a constant delight. It is a constant dopamine rush of like, ooh, a little thing. You are swapping between your jobs and you're going out and you constantly have like 100 different things in your head that you could be doing at any given moment. And everything you're doing is feeding into progression. Like, despite the fact that it feels like one of those number go up game, it is kind of like a number goes up game. But everything you're doing is progress. Nothing feels wasted. I mean, I guess it's all wasted because video games are a waste of time. But like literally every action, like they've somehow like biologically engineered the fact that you level up so frequently during combat or while mining for things or while cooking or while tailoring, and all of those feed into each other. So you go and you clear out a dungeon and they drop a bunch of different items like fruit and wood and linen, and then you're like, oh, I got enough linen that I can now use my blacksmith skill to create a new bow for my hunter. And now that my hunter is a high enough level, I'm able to go out with my crew and fight a bigger boss who then drops all these different cooking ingredients. And if I cook enough, then I can make those meals for those side quests, and completing the side quests get me the money that I can use to buy new things in my village. And if I grow my village enough, my village rating goes up, and that allows me to unlock new quests. Like, it is, if this game were free to play, it would be nefarious. But it's not. It's just a game, and there's nothing. It doesn't feel predatory at all. I'm really enjoying it. My only major qualm with it, if you can call it major, is that I went back. I never played the 3DS original, and it turns out it's because it released the same week as Sunset Overdrive, and I only had one love that week, and it was Sunset Overdrive for the Xbox One. But I jumped in and I played a few hours of the 3DS one, and the 3DS one is a lot weirder. And I in a good way. The characters are like little freaks. They're like weird little freaks. And like right at the beginning, there's a butterfly that's being bullied, and you kind of just ignore him. And then you try to go meet the king, and the guards are like, "You're not dressed up enough to meet the king." And then you go and you need to pay off the bullies in order for them to stop bullying the butterfly. And then the butterfly is like, I'll help you. And it flies on your collar. And then when you go talk to the guards, they're like, "Oh, that's a sick bola tie. Yeah, you can come meet the king." And like, that is so dumb. And there's nothing dumb like that in the new one that I've encountered yet. And I'm like, I want weird, dumb shit like this. I even said it in the video that I'm like, maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome from the 6 Hours of Dokapon, but I'm like, I could use like a Risque the Bandit or like the sort of dumb shit that makes us laugh in that game in this. But so that weirdness aside, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I have a question, because like I really like the idea that like, yes, there's all these different gameplay things that all feed into like a core progression of you just existing in that fantasy world or whatever. But like, are any of those disparate jobs, as I think the game calls it, are those like fun gameplay like side things in their own right, or is it just the rush of those things giving you back the resources?
Sure. No, the combat's fun. I think the combat is pretty simple but fun hack and slash. Or I guess shoot and slash, almost like a gauntlet game or something. You know, pretty simple, but you have skill trees and a lot of loot and everything. The crafting and the smithing jobs fall into all the smithing jobs, or all the I guess gathering jobs, which is like chopping down trees or mining ore or fishing, all have kind of the same gameplay gimmick, which is you circling the object and kind of trying to like find like its sweet spot. So like every hunk of rock has like a G spot, and if you hit
don't call it that.
If you hit it at the right spot, then you get these like, it's sweet, and you do more damage to it. And then crafting is just kind of like almost like a input rhythm game where you have like three different things, and then you need to do them in this order. So those are like, they're simple. They're fine. Yeah, those aren't super compelling, but the rewards are compelling, and how the rewards all feed.
Yeah, they sure sound like it if you hit that spot.
I'm learning a lot about myself that I'm putting into my $100 million Mega Man Kisses Samus game. Also, in Mega Man Legends, he's definitely like not a child. I think
he's like a teenager.
He gets hit on all the time by Tron Bon. Tron Bon like wants to.
She's like the same age as him. Is Tron Bon like a grown-up lady? No. Am I thinking of the wrong character?
This upcoming Yahtzee War video is gonna be weird as fuck, isn't it?
Who's Tron Bon?
Tron Bon is not. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I don't know why everyone's worried.
Tron Bon's like 25.
Yeah, that's a perfectly normal age to kiss Mega Man. That's the most normal age to kiss Mega Man there is. So yeah, Fantasy Life I, full video on it, edited by Jesse Galena, should be up next week. And then Denmark with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Denmark. Oh yeah, Jombly announced he's gonna start Persona 3 Reload, so I'm gonna pay $5 to let everyone know that he's a loser. Denmark, you have found a way to like to weaponize your hate in a way that I love. You're a hater, Denmark, in a way that I deeply appreciate.
Paying money to hate. At least he's paying money to do it. Most people don't do that.
There you go. Exactly.
You can say whatever mean things you want about me. Just give me $5.
Yeah, exactly. It's like fucking
not a kink or anything.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would be upset for a minute, but then I'd see I have $5 and forget all about the upsetness.
Yeah, there you go. We've done it. We finished the podcast. I can't believe we did it. I didn't sweat at all. I'm like I'm worryingly dry right now. I think I may have sweat my last sweat earlier today.
See, this is why you need one of these nice tower fans, and then you will never sweat.
Oh, I have a tower fan. I need to bring it up from my basement.
Is that the one I've told you to buy?
No, I buy my own fans. What are we doing? I found out OnlyFans. We did it. We finished off this motherfucker. Let's go home.
Well done.
Casey, what do you got going on? What should folks keep an eye on? Eric, how are you in the chat? What is happening? I thought fucking gangs killed your internet.
No, he said it was on the mend.
He's on his phone. He's always on his phone too.
But yeah, in terms of stuff coming up, we mentioned earlier. Oh, actually, no. Marty and I had a DQ go up today on the game Paper Clay.
Paper Clay.
So check that out if you haven't seen it already. Yeah, probably sometime next week. Maybe Nick and I did 2 DQs on both Split Gate and Rematch. So look forward to those as well. And tomorrow, more stream shenanigans with me and the fiance. I don't know what we're gonna play, but
you said you gotta play something. You can't play Blueprints anymore.
I will not play Blueprints. I promise.
You can't be one of those guys who just keeps playing games that make it.
I will. I'm sorry. I will never play Blueprints again. I'm at that.
Teacher to play Rematch.
That would not go well at all. That would be a travesty. But no, we'll figure something out. Maybe it'll be puzzly. Maybe it'll be story like. We'll see.
Play Braid and see if she's better at it than Soldier Boy was 15 years ago.
But that's it for me.
As hell. What about you, Nick?
We'll have a new episode of Unpacked out tomorrow as normal, and then Sunday. What?
I just said yeah.
Oh, okay.
Excited noise.
I thought that was a sweaty noise.
I really ruin moments when I make weird noises that I don't think anyone else is gonna hear. I sometimes forget to have a microphone.
You do. And then Sunday, have a new thing that we've been working on between Marty, Omar, Matt, and I, a little listicle of games you should be on the lookout for. Just so many upcoming games, and like old gaming magazines used to like give me that sense of dopamine when somebody would show me a brand new game I had never heard about before. So Marty and I spent all this time managing these big giant wish lists, and it's like, let's do something with that. So this will be a very, very simple video that does not require much thought to watch, so it'd be perfect for your Sunday morning after you're waking up from the Adventures Nigh shenanigans and all the weird names you have to hear, because there will be a new episode of Adventures Nigh on Saturday too.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
There's a lot of weird names in Adventures now. Yeah, if you liked any of the hey, have y'all seen this game shorts that Casey and I have been working on? It's kind of like that in a little chunkier version and not vertical. You can watch it horizontal.
Yeah, be horizontal. You have a little bit of information about the developers on where they're from and what the game is, so it should be fun.
Oh yeah, rad.
Neat.
And then tune in tomorrow at noon. The DevHeads crew are going to be back. They're going to be streaming Elden Ring: Night Rain. They will be They will be 3 of the 311,000 people who are currently streaming it. Well, that's not how that's going to work because that's
gonna be
tomorrow.
like
It's also down to 309. The game is broke. The game has not. It went down to 309,000.
That game's going to cross an insane number over the weekend.
I think it's a bust. It just went down 2,000 concurrents.
Okay.
So,
Shit. Where's Paul Tassi?
R.I.P. from Soft.
You sure those people didn't just pass out from just constant play?
Yeah, they had a random throw up.
Fucking Ornstein and Smaug got dropped on them and they just died in real life. Excellent. Yeah, but that'll do it for us. For Nick and Casey, this was Marty. This was Firelink episode number 69. We made it through the whole episode without making the sex joke, which is great for us. Thank you all so much to everyone who watched live, who donated via Super Chats, listened on your podcast service of choice, and especially all of our wonderful patrons. And remember, at that $5 tier and above, you get all sorts of goodies, including monthly videos, ad-free podcasts, and the ability to voice your comments and concerns every week here. So thank you all again so much, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
I'm in control of this podcast. I see when we're done.